Hello everyone, Jake here with another Transformers review, and today I'll be reviewing Legendary Heroes, Destron Leader Romulus. And I'm not just doing one, I'm doing a 2-for-1 deal because I could not pick between the two. I was really torn. I thought they both looked really cool, so I decided, you know what, I'll get the toy edition and the cartoon edition, and sometimes I'm not sure which one I like more. So pretty much these guys are almost identical, as they're identical as far as transformation is concerned. Pretty much everything is the same, just the accessories that they came with is slightly different, and the design of coloration's a bit different. Like this one's obviously supposed to be more, like I said, toy accurate. I do like the red on the inside of the legs. I do like the painted on sticker details. I do like this design on his chest. And then I think it's cool that they gave him the original toy style sword. And then they both come with an Energon mace, which I think is kind of cool. Although I don't know if that's an accessory that the original toy came with. I will say one thing that I would love to see come from them, or a good third-party company at some point, would be an upgrade kit to give them the, especially for this guy specifically, maybe not, well, I guess for both of them, because in his gun mode, he always had the buttstock and suppressor on the barrel, so it's like, it makes sense for someone to make an upgrade kit in that regard, because these are good for the robot mode representations, but especially for the cartoon representation for the gun mode, it's kind of disappointing when you're missing two of the big parts that make him, well, Megatron. Now, the more toon accurate one comes with 3 alternate faces. This is actually one of the alternate faces. His standard face was just the more stoic looking one. I think it was this one right here. Right there, and then he has kind of like a sneer, I think, like at least I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be a sneer, disgust, whatever, and then of course angry yelling Megatron. And then my favorite face, of course, is the maniacal laughing Megatron face. I think that's one of his best faces ever. Obviously, as you can see, he comes with an Energon sword for the cartoon accurate one. And now they both, pretty much their faces change out almost exactly the same. The only difference is that, well, I guess you could also give him Megatron yellow eyes if you want to as well, because you can. But they do change out the same. It's just this one is, I think, one piece because it's the whole thing, which is fine by me. But to change out the face, you just slide up like that. I think it'd be funny if they had the molded in details like they do on MP36, but I'm not complaining but you take that off, and then you pop that off, tab in whichever face you want, and then slide it back into place, and there you go. You have a new face on. Now in this case, I put the same one back on because I really like this face. The hands are pretty nice, although I will say, due to the functionality to do the mace hand, it is just pegged in, so I'm afraid that eventually those are going to come loose and they're just not going to want to stay on at all. And there's no tabs or slots for weapons to go into, so it is a little inconvenient for holding things. And also, this cartoon variant also comes with the little gun that he killed Optimus Prime with when he grabbed Hot Rod. But it's obviously there's no tabs on the gun, and no slots to go into for the hand. So let's just go ahead and put this in as best I can and hope that he can hold it. Of course, he can hold it, but it is a bit loose, just as this is the main thing that I don't like about articulated hands, especially since it's supposed to be a chug version of Megatron, which it for the most part is. because it is a little bit simplified. You have the trigger right in there, trigger guard I should say, right in there. So it is kind of visible. It's not as designed or engineered to hide everything as well as the Masterpiece or the very, very nice large Masterpiece style third-party figures would have. But it's still really good. I just don't really care for the hands. I'd honestly just rather them have standard hands that, I mean, not necessarily aren't articulated at all, but similar to the Earthrise Optimus Prime, where it has a hinge right in here, but it's still kind of a 5mm peg hole, so then it would be compatible with all those weapons. And speaking of Optimus Prime, here he is, and they are in scale together. It is unfortunate because, and to a degree, because I think everyone was expecting him to be in scale with the Commander class Optimus Prime. I was tempted to get rid of Earthrise when I got my Commander class, but after hearing the news about him being in scale with the Earthrise, I was like, you know what? I have even more reason to hold on to him, because until he's upsized by either the same company, by New Age or another third-party company, he will not be in scale with the main Optimus Prime that everyone was hoping for. But to be fair, when they probably went to production and designing of this guy, it was going based off of him, because Commander class Optimus Prime hadn't even been released yet. I'm not even sure if it had even been announced at that point. So they were just trying to do a Studio Series G1 accurate style Megatron, because they knew that Hasbro and Takara would not be, well, maybe Takara, but Hasbro for sure would not be able to get away with making that to sell in the United States. Okay, then let's go ahead and get Optimus out of the way. And since I did talk about pulling out the hand, this is actually the first time I've put this in. Oh wow, that is really stiff. I'm not going to push it in all the way because I'm going to have to get that back out anyway. But yeah, you have his mace. I think what I would recommend doing if you're wanting to display him with it in motion would be to get a wire of some kind to run through there, preferably similar color as this, to hold it in whatever position you want, because otherwise it's just going to hang down like that, and that's not the most fun, because obviously you can't have it constantly spinning to keep it flung out. But it is a cool accessory, but to me, I think I would have been happy if it was similar to the one that they made look like it was in motion, so you could actually like have it in the air or whatever, so it wouldn't look as just droopy. Articulation, the head is on a ball joint. He can look up and down about that far. Does get a lot of wibbly wobbly, but part of it is because of transformation hinge, and that just makes him look even more crazy psychotic. Like, yeah, that definitely makes him insane, especially if he has his hands up, I don't know, like this, and he's just zombie walking towards you. Yeah, that's actually kind of terrifying now that I think about it. But yeah, the head can do a full 360. Arms can go out that far, so pretty far out, very stiff. Nothing, almost, I don't think anything on him is ratcheted, it's just friction joints, but it is very stiff. Can get a full 360 there. Get, oh boy, a really nice stiff bicep rotation. Over 9-degree bend at the elbow. Wrist rotation. Thumb is on a hinge, but it doesn't swing. It's on a ball joint, so it doesn't swing out, so be very careful so you don't break it. Potentially, I haven't broken any of them yet, but that is something that I definitely remind myself to keep an eye out for. And the first finger joint is individually articulated, but and it's the only one that's fully articulated on its own, and then the other three are separate, so I guess you can have him point, or have him, what's the word, hold a gun and have it in the trigger guard potentially. And then this is how you position his hands for transformation. He does have a waist swivel and a double ab crunch. See, like that, pretty crazy. I think part of it is a little bit for transformation, but then again, I'm not exactly sure. But that is a crazy amount of ab crunch. He can definitely do curl ups, or not even curl ups, but probably even full on sit ups. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. Legs, he can do the full splits. Legs, if you flip this panel up, you can go forward that far. Unfortunately, to get these panels out of the way, you do have to rotate them out like that. But even then, you still really can't get much more motion out of there, so they can only go that far back. You do get thigh rotation, but you kind of have to, depending on how much you're willing to twist it, you kind of have to angle it out because of the shape of the thigh. And then you get over 90-degree bend at the knee, and you get a lot of ankle tiltage, and you can also move the feet forward and back. So he has a lot more. I wouldn't say necessarily a lot more, but he definitely has at least a little bit more than the standard chug figure, but which I think is pretty nice, especially considering the price point. I think for him, I think right now is like $100, and then for him is like 107 or something. I'm not exactly sure why the price. You think he would be more? At least when I ordered them. I ordered them on Shozi's store like a couple of months ago, but he was slightly less, and he was a little bit more. I don't know why, because he does come with more accessories. So, and you think more people would want him than the toy deco, but whatever, it is what it is. And then one more thing about the toy deco one, and I'm probably gonna rectify it pretty soon, but they didn't glue on the barrel, because at first I thought, okay, maybe that's just standard. Maybe they didn't want to glue it on for whatever reason. And then on this guy, yep, it's okay. Maybe it isn't glued in because it looks like it's starting to come loose. But this one was at least very stiff. Like this one actually felt like it was glued in. So I guess neither of them were glued in. Just this one is a lot tighter. That one pops off quite a bit during transformation when I've transformed him in the past. This is him in his gun mode, and it is pretty cool, I must admit. It is probably one of the best Megatrons that I've seen in a long time, which is why I think it's, well, I've seen some third-party ones. I've only had MP36, well, a knockoff of MP36, which was really cool, by the way. A little too big for the handgun mode, but not by much. But I'd say this is so good. I mean, the only one that might be better is the original toy, but even then, I'm not exactly sure. But from pictures I've seen of other third-party Megatrons, I would have to say that this one is probably the best. Well, one of the best, at least. Is I think the gun mode looks really good. I think the robot, I guess for the bang for your buck, I feel like this is probably one of the best ones, especially if you're wanting one that's in scale with most standard Studio Series figures. My biggest complaint, although with this design, which is kind of unavoidable, I mean, I do think it looks nice on the front, but on the inside, the trigger guard, it's just where those pins are. Obviously, it's there for structural integrity, because if those weren't there, it would probably snap off like nobody's business, and even then, it's still probably not the strongest. But all things considered, I'd say that this is a very well done Megatron, although, like I said, it doesn't have the silencer or suppressor and the buttstock. So, yeah, that's honestly a little bit of a disappointment in that regard. And of course, just so I don't forget, here is the toy version of Megatron. I must say, and of course, I forgot to put his fusion cannon on, but honestly, I think it looks pretty cool like this as well. But let's go ahead and plug that in, and it is still really cool. I don't know exactly what the design reason was for having a slightly yellowish gray plastic instead of the silver metallic color is. It might be just that's kind of the way the original toy was. That's my guess. But it does look really cool. It'd be nice if they had that on both sides, because they could have really easily put it on that side, because that is actually a part that would be obscured in robot mode anyway. So I don't know why they didn't do it on both sides, but still, it's pretty cool. I really love the way these guys feel in hand, because sure, it might not be quite 1% the size of a real gun, but or at least the one that it's supposed to represent, the Walter P38, but it is definitely, the hand grip feels relatively comfortable and all that, which I think is really funny to be talking about a toy, but it is really cool. And I think that these two are both great options. It just depends on what look you're going for. If you're wanting more for gun mode, I'd say toy version, although, like I said, if you're going for tune accuracy, I guess this one. But then again, it's not like you're going to have a transformer big enough to really hold him in his gun mode. It's so I'd say, like, for gun mode, I'd say toy version all the way. But if you're wanting for a robot mode, definitely tune accurate version. In my opinion. I mean, obviously, it's up to you which one you'd rather have, but man, they're both really cool.
Perhaps this company jumped the gun, pun totally intended, when they made this design to go with the Earthrise Voyager class Optimus Prime instead of the Commander class Optimus Prime. But to be fair, when they were probably designing this guy, they did not realize how big the Commander class is going to be. So hopefully, I hope against hope that they'll re-release this guy in Commander class series size, and if not, oh well, there's Studio Series 86 Megatron that, yes, even though it turns into a tank, I really want to get him, and I have him pre-ordered on DFSource as he's sold out like everywhere else. And if you like this review and you'd like to see more, please click that like and subscribe button to see more. Until next time, have a good one, everyone.